Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, serving the entire tri-state area with everything you need to make sure you're ready for any kind of tropical storm or hurricane threat. We don't have one now, but the peak part of the season is young. We've got a long way to go. So bear that in mind. And their telephone number is 631-756-1125. They service the entire New York, New Jersey, Connecticut tri-state area. And the website is omnitruevalue.com. So here we are on a Monday, and I have to be honest, folks. I know some people like the heat and humidity. I am not a fan. But when you wake up in the morning and temperatures are in the middle to upper 70s and the dew points are in the low 70s, that's pretty disgusting. It really is. It's got to be horribly, it's just horribly uncomfortable. And we're going to have another day in what I've been calling living in the hot sponge in much of the Northeast and Northern Mid-Atlantic states, where we've got these really ridiculously high dew points and temperatures that are going to climb up into the low and middle 90s. Now, that may set off some pop-up thunderstorms. I think the best chances every day they seem to be popping up in different places. Maybe today the better chance is going to be inland rather than the coast. We've got a weather front out to the west where you see a blow up of overnight showers and thunderstorms into Wisconsin and moving eastward. And that front is going to get here for tomorrow. We've got a couple of weather fronts to deal with this week, and the first couple are really not going to do very much. The last one at the end of the week is the one that's going to accomplish something with regards to getting the humidity out of here, out of the Northeast, and bringing in some very dry air. Pretty quiet on the radar now, and this is as of 7:35 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're watching this later on this morning or this afternoon, obviously these are going to be dated, so make sure you go to weather.gov and check out your latest radar in case you're worried about severe weather. But at least this morning we've got rain and downpours up in Maine. We've got showers and some thunderstorms back across the Great Lakes and extending down through northern Missouri and into Kansas, and some showers in parts of the Southwest. No severe weather risks to speak of this week from what we see from the Storm Prediction Center. So we're just going to jump right. Although there always could be the odd thunderstorm, and there will be the odd thunderstorm that winds up reaching severe levels. The rainfall forecast seems to be forever on the order of a half to three-quarters of an inch over the next 7 days. Now, bear in mind that because we're getting these pop-up storms where some areas are getting it and others are not, maybe over the course of a week, over the course of 7 days, there's enough variability that eventually everybody sees something. But this is not really a whole lot of rainfall, and we're also seeing some heavier rains up in northern Maine and also up into upstate New York and northern New England, also across Florida, especially central and northern Florida, and typical summertime thunderstorm activity in the southeast and the Ohio Valley and in the Tennessee Valley, and still getting some heavy rains up in the southwest. So let's run through the week. It's a pretty straightforward idea of where we are headed. First off, for today, highs are going to be in the low to middle 90s, and it'll be a little bit cooler on Long Island. It'll be a little bit cooler in southeastern New England. Again, watch for the possibility of the odd pop-up thunderstorm or two, but well inland, it's pretty much low to mid 90s. For tomorrow, we're going to be, I would say, about the same. High temperatures generally in the low to mid 90s. You'll notice these wind barbs shift off to the west, telling us that we do have a weak weather front that's coming on through. It's going to lower humidities up well into upstate New York and in northern New England. It's not going to do much to lower humidity here. Then as we move on to Wednesday, we're going to see more clouds around and also some showers and thunderstorms running around. So temperatures will be lower, middle 80s, maybe even some upper 80s and lower 90s from southern New Jersey southward, although it'll be a little bit cooler as you go to the north. And then Thursday, that's the day that we have the more important weather front coming through. Temperatures will be mostly topping out in the 80s with the chance for some showers or a thunderstorm. And then Friday begins low humidity and lower temperatures, where I think we're going to be lower than what these numbers are indicating. We could very well just be upper 70s to around 80 for daytime highs on Friday and get those nighttime lows down in the 60s and maybe even the 50s. And the dew points, more importantly, will be coming down. So here's what it looks like on the weather maps. We are looking at this weak front approaching today, but it's not going to really do very much. Another weak front approaching tomorrow. We set off maybe a shower or thunderstorm when that goes by. Then on Wednesday, that front just kind of lays along the coast where some showers and storms get generated along it at some point, maybe Wednesday night into early Thursday. And then the more important front comes through later Thursday, pushes everything out, and this nice high builds in for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Looks like the trough position here in the east is going to be mostly a little more to the east. So that will give us a nice weekend. And if we take a look, I'm going to bring up the dew points here, which are going to be the big story. Let's just bring those up, and we'll start with Wednesday. Of course, you see just a little bit of dew point relief in upstate New York and up into northern New England. And then starting on even later Thursday afternoon, as the front pushes on through, you start to get a little dew point relief. And look at these dew points in the 50s and 40s, pushing all the way down into the southeastern part of the United States on Friday and over the weekend. And that is going to actually last into the very first part of the week of beginning Monday, August 15th. Just very quickly, I want to show you the tropics, because we do have a strong tropical wave that has moved off the African coast. It's accompanied by a lot of clouds and showers. You see it right here. And actually, we're seeing for the first time that intertropical convergence zone that we talk about, this area here that has been sort of sitting pretty far to the south, has now lined itself up along 10 degrees north, and we're starting to get these waves move through this alleyway between 10 and 20 degrees north, where conditions are actually going to be favorable for tropical cyclone development in the next several days. So we think this system has a fairly good chance of becoming a tropical depression or a tropical storm later this week, and takes a track pretty much onto the west-northwest. We're going to talk more about this and what it may mean down the road, if anything, tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show at 7:30 Eastern Time. So Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. 631-756-1125 is the telephone number. The website, omnitruevalue.com. So we'll see you tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show. In the meantime, stay cool.